All right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the things on my pull list, things you should be aware of before you go to your shop, secret books that might be dropping in, etc. Basically, this is your prep show to get you ready for your Wednesday pickups. Hopefully, you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came out and said hello to me at that show in Cherry Hill I was at this past Sunday. It was great meeting a bunch of you guys who watched the show and read the articles over on comicbookinvest.com, which is also kind of fun. So with that, thanks for stopping by, saying hello, and I had a lot of fun actually selling at a show. First time ever I've ever done that, and kind of liked it. Just, yeah, gonna look into it going forward. But with that all said, don't want to get too occupied with doing that, as I got plenty more shows coming your way. I got to play a little bit of a catch up. I mean, this already is about a day late, partly due to me doing that show, but also I'm dealing with a little bit of a little toothache right now. So if I keep this short, I apologize. I'm doing the best I can to try to get this content out to you. And with that all said, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I'll be right back with this week's rundown. All right, so switching things up this week a little bit. I'm trying a few things out to see if it'll help speed up the show a little bit. Also, again, for my purposes here, but also I don't have a top of the stack this week because honestly, nothing really stood out more than the rest this week. So I'm just going straight to my pull list because again, nothing really jumped out that I'm looking forward to more than anything else. There's plenty that I need to and want to read this week. Plus, I got a lot of backlog to catch up on too. So plenty to read, plenty to catch up on. So we're going to get right into it with my pull list and start it off with DC, wrapping up Dark Patterns. So Batman Dark Patterns has been a lot of fun for me because I like seeing Batman as a detective. So seeing this series has kind of gotten us back into that kind of vibe, not just fighting the supervillain of the week, but also using his brain and thinking things through, mysteries, etc. I like Batman as a detective personally. So I was happy to go through this series and look for more of this going forward, even if this series is ending now with issue 12. We've got cover A here and a cover B as your two options. Pick whichever one you like. I mean, that little baby mask is pretty creepy, but I'm also good with the A, which is probably the one I'm going to end up grabbing anyway to save that dollar. Because again, you know how DC does. So with that extra card stock on the B, it costs $1 more. So I'll just stick with the $4.99. No need to pay $5.99, despite the fact that I do like it. With that, who else has forgotten about this? I love Jim Lee, but I said it at the time. I didn't want a sequel to Hush, and I want it even less now. I've been fine without it. That it never ended, I was good. I had to look back on when the last issue came out. It was July. It's November now. July to November. I, I don't know how many people really care how this wraps up at this point. I know that's a sad thing to say, but it is what it is. And I'm still going to get it because, again, it's Batman. It's Jim Lee. Jeff Loeb as well. I do like Jeff Loeb, but I just couldn't be that less excited, though. I'm just kind of seeing this through at this point. But here's the cover A. We do have cover B by David Finch, which is pretty cool, and a lot of covers, obviously. Another connecting cover here by Delato. Let's take a quick look at all of them while I take a little quick sip of water here. So again, this goes back to the connecting set that we've seen so far on the first few parts of Hush. And there we go, rolling them on. It's a cool image and a cool mural. I think it's actually pretty well done. I kind of wish I would have gotten all of them. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh, I think I missed one. There is the Batman one I cut off by accident. But you get the idea. It's almost built out. The series is almost done. Thankfully. We also got a Derek Chew option here and a Gotham City Sirens cover. Remember when we had those variants? I don't even remember what month that was for. I want to say August, because again, this book being delayed, everything's just kind of behind. And then we do have a foil edition of that cover A if you like a shiny one. And if you want a 1 in 25, well, there's one of those as well as a 1 in 50, which I actually really like. I really like this Chris Bacalo Batman Hush cover. I don't know why I like it so much. I mean, it seems pretty standard by all accounts, but for some reason, I just really like it. And I like the Hush thing in the background. I don't know. I just like it. And that's the 1 in 50. And then we do have a 1 in 100, which kind of seems a little pointless. Did you even notice the change? I mean, it's just not foil. It's just going to be a virgin version that's not foil. So it's actually got less on it. You would think, I don't know, they would have spruced it up and made the foil one the 1 in 100, but no, just the regular version is the 1 in 100. And you just see the DC logo went from white to black and got a little smaller. Cool. But with that, series is almost done. We're almost through Hush 2, thankfully. And we'll move on to the end of Mr. Terrific. Here's another series. A lot of series ending this week. So a lot of things will be opening up slots, I guess, in my reading and my pull list. But Mr. Terrific, year one, I dipped out after a issue or two, but came back on board once I got more interested with the Superman movie. So kind of enjoyed this series, surprisingly. Issue 6, though, coming to wrap it up. We got 2 covers here, A and a B. I'm probably just going to go with the A and be fine with that. Also surprised that this weird Kryptonite Spectrum series done by the Ice Cream Man team, giving us a lot of different effects of new Kryptonites, just getting weird and wacky stuff, and we'll see what comes out of this. So Kal-Elf, yeah, we'll see if that becomes a thing all of a sudden. But multiple covers here as well. We got the A, we got the B, and I think people are going to look at this little elf guy and get excited, but we'll see. I mean, it is almost the time of year for this. So with that, those are your 3 Kryptonite Spectrum covers that you can choose from. All open order, no incentives. Moving away from DC, we've got Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. So this series is continuing to roll on here. And again, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the first run. I'm enjoying the sequel. So with that, I'm surprised that they went this way with the movie poster homage here. I don't know if a lot of people will catch this one. This was this is a classic. I remember just seeing on the videos, because I used to work in a video store way back in the day. I used to always see this cover box, and it's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which it seems very on the nose and perfect for this series to do this poster as an homage. I'm just surprised they did it, is all, because I haven't seen one of these. You know, you normally see the Silence of the Lambs and all the popular horror movies, etc. This is not one that's for everybody, that everybody knows. So I think it's fun to get its little tip of the cap there. With that, we also got the little kid book version here too. So if you want to go that way, I'm getting the movie poster because, again, it's too cool for me. So I got to get that. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, still rolling on. Larry Hama's run, 322 at this point. You got the cover A, which you're going to get a black and white version, and the 1 in 10. They keep it pretty simple, which I like. The 1 in 10 by Steve Beach ain't bad, but I kind of missed the negative spaces. I don't know. It was a good little run there, and it seemed kind of short. It was only like half a dozen of them. But with that, the Steve Beach is the 1 in 10 here. Redcoat also coming out with issue 15. Cool. I'm starting to lose a little steam on this one with this Ghost Machine title, but I'm still on board for now. A, there's a B, there's a C. It's mostly because I'm behind on reading everything, and it's just like it's getting to be too much. But for now, I'm still on board for it. We also got Transformers, and if I'm missing any covers, it's because you know the drill by now. You'll see them later on. But Transformers, Kirkham, Mora doing this run. Glad to see where we're going. DNA doing this cover is also pretty solid. I like David Nakayama, so I like this cover A right out of the gate. Though we do have other great options with Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona as well, which is actually a connecting cover set, which they've been doing as the 1 in 10s. But as I understand it right now, these are open order. These are not 1 in 10s. They changed them. So I guess the Energon verse is pulling away from doing the 1 in 10 connecting cover sets. But we do have these 2 connecting. They're just not 1 in 10s, as I understand it. So I still like it. Still pretty cool. But just keep that in mind. We do still have other incentives, though. We got the 1 in 25 here, which is pretty awesome. I really dig this one with all these Decepticons. Some of my favorites mixed in there with Megatron, obviously, Soundwave, and the Constructicons. Great cover. I like that one quite a bit by Kale Yu, if I'm saying it right. And then we got like a design cover here for the 1 in 50, which is all right. But, I'm not a huge fan of the design covers. This is like a trading card, which is I'd rather have it just as a trading card. So give me the 1 in 25 over the 1 in 50, personally. Another series wrapping up. That was one of my favorite reads this year. Is we're taking everyone down with us. So I'm looking to see how this is all going to wrap up. Looking forward to this. I enjoyed this run, so recommend it if you haven't read it yet. Issue 6 wrapping it up. So go pick it up. Cover A is solid. B is interesting, a little weird, a little wonky. Nice C option as well, and a pretty cool 1 in 25. I'm probably just gonna get the A and be good with it, but I do like the 1 in 25. There's something like kind of classic sci-fi about it that I really like in this whole run, but on these 1 in 25s in particular. But I think I'm just gonna get the A at this point. Continuing on, The World to Come. How this is another title that I gotta say seems to have lost a lot of steam. It was just everybody couldn't stop talking about issue 2. How long ago was that? Seems like forever ago, just like the Batman Hush 2. And that's what delays in publishing can do. I think all the momentum on this run and this new Black Panther is gone. I don't hear anybody talking about it. Let me know if I'm wrong and everybody's still excited for this, but I'm going to get it because I'm still kind of curious where this story's going. But at this point, the momentum has left the building. Also, you can see how the delays affect it. Here's the Halloween mask. It's November now, guys. You missed the window for this. But The World to Come Halloween mask with the Black Panther looks kind of goofy. Again, I was not a big fan of these covers, but there we go. One more for the pile. And then we got some other options here with this one. You got Cap, you got Black Panther. Cool. Same on the 1 in 25. You got the duo there. And then we do have a virgin version for the 1 in 50 of that cover there. So pick whichever you like. What else do I got here? Ultimate Wolverine, which is, again, a title I keep wanting to drop, but I just can't stop. It's just one of those weird addictions. I don't know. Out of all the Ultimate Universe books, apart from Ultimate Spidey, I've dropped most of them except this one because it's kind of the default Ultimate X-Men because I don't like the Peach Momoko Ultimate X-Men. It's just not really for me. But this one, I'm kind of curious. And it's still rolling on here with issue 11. Only a couple covers. We got an A, we got a B, and we got a 1 in 25. So, once again, pick your poison as we go over to one title coming out for DC's KO event. So interesting, the release schedule for this. It seems to be slowing so quickly. I mean, not a lot of momentum here. We had like the one issue last week, the Batman Night Fight or whatever, and now we just got a random Aquaman issue for this week to keep those KO event people, satisfied, I guess. Yeah, it seems to be losing momentum already pretty early on in the in the run to be slowing down like this. I think they should have kept it strong with 2 or 3 titles every week. Solid is what I would have done, but hey, not a publisher. With that said, A cover, you got a John Boy on a B. We got another option here for a C, and a 4th option here with Mara as well. Get whatever you like. And just to kind of keep you caught up, since there's not that many for this one, I'll still show you all of them. You got the prologue issues and then the core issues, 6 parts, and we're only through 8, and here we go with 9 at this point. Again, you need to pick up the pace, keep people on board, or you're going to lose momentum. That said, I wish there were less of the X-Men Revelation books because it's hurting my wallet, but they're keeping it pretty consistent, 3 to 4 every week. And that's what we got this week. We got another 3. So with that, let's take a look at this pile of books here. Starting off with, what is this? Iron Frost. So, yeah, we got Iron and Frost. Welcome to Sanctuary. Again, I still got a lot of catching up to do on this event. There's so many books, so many titles. But here we go with a couple options on covers, A's and B's. And we even got a 1 in 25. All pretty good. I'll be fine with either the A or the B, though. No need for me, personally, to want to pay up for the 1 in 25. Rogue Storm also coming out with that second issue. We got Ramos doing the cover A, I believe. I like the Villalobos, but don't love it on the B. But this is probably going to be the one that I get. And it is also the 1 in 50 when you take the trade dress off of it. Additionally, we got Sinister 6, which is, kind of fun. All right, it's a Sinister 6, but it's sinister and, Spider-Man villains and everything. Couple of cool covers here. This is the A. I really like this one here. For some reason, with like the cut-up image, with the image coming through from underneath. I dig it. There is a C option as well, and a really nice Jeff DeCall 1 in 25. I really like this one as well. So, haven't seen a really cool Sinister cover in a while. This one fits the bill, if not for the stupid book border down the side. But it's not terrible in this case, but I still wish it wasn't there. With that, I'm not showing you full rundown of this title, just going to last week, getting into this week. So through last week, we had 24 books. Getting into this week, we're rolling on with parts 25, 26, 20. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Parts 26, 27, and I believe 28 here. So 3 parts this week, getting us up to 28 already. See the difference? DC, you had 9. Marvel's already 28 deep. Just saying. Speaking of it, I don't even know where we're at with One World Under Doom anymore. But this thing is slowly trickling to an end. And we've got yet another part just kind of limping its way to the finish line here. With that, it is Red Hulk number 10, which I think is the final issue of this series as well. Red Hulk versus Warwolf. You got an A and you got a B. I think I prefer the B because you get the 2 at least fighting it out. But I don't know. I kind of lost interest in this series for a while. It did start off great. I was intrigued, but again, it's just ran a little long. 10 issues seemed a bit much for me. With that said, if you haven't tried Whatnot out, give it a try. Use my link down below. Sign up. Get yourselves a free $15 off your first purchase. That's $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. I don't know when I'm going to make my way back onto Whatnot again, but it's there for you to try. And $15, it's free. So give it a shot if you haven't already. And with that, I'm going to give a shot to this next blind pick. So again, no prior knowledge, no early look or anything like that. This is the book that I just think is probably going to be good. So with that, my blind pick for this week, and I think I actually picked 2, go to Dark Horse, giving me this American Caper book, Absurd Ventures Presents. I don't know. I'm just reading it. It's kind of like a corrupt businesses and heists and that kind of weird. It gives me like a, when I read the synopsis, which you can go and check out for yourself, it gives me sort of a, I want to say Jack Foley, but it's not Jack. Elmore Leonard kind of vibe to it. And I'm a big fan of Elmore Leonard novels. So I don't know. Kind of want to check this out. I'm going to get the cover A because I think I like the A best here. But there are other options with the B by Simon Bisley. We've got a C option here as well. And a D. And I think a 5th one. And that's got like that whole classic nostalgia kind of thing going for it. And then we got a 5th option here. But like I said, I think I'm good with the A. I like the image within an image kind of thing. I think it's pretty cool. And then my other blind pick of the week is a series that I had forgotten all about, and I'm surprised because I heard nothing about it coming back with a new run, and I'm excited. So Die Loaded. So we're getting a sequel to that Die series, which I thought was great. We got cover A, Stephanie Hans, awesome. Just to start, there's a Peach Momoko here as well. Then we got a 1 in 25 as well as a blank if you want to go the blank route. And then there is 1 in 50, which is the Peach Momoko with the limited bits of trade dress taken away. So it's very, very similar to the open order book. So, yeah, do with that what you will. But along with this new series, they're also releasing this sort of catch-up book, this quick start edition to kind of help you learn how to play this game, if you know, with the whole D&D aspects to the comic. So you got this kind of a edition coming as well. So it's kind of a 3rd book in the blind picks, but it's just kind of piggybacking off of the return of Die with Die Loaded. Now, from here, there are quite a few books that I have on the fence right now. I know I should probably, decide to stick with it or cut bait, but I'm just telling you, honestly, these are close to being cut. It's just I need to give them one more shot to see where we're going. Starting off with, just like the regular Green Lantern title, I got to check out Green Lantern Corps to see if they have my interest going forward following that last event with the Starbreaker Supremacy. So see if I'm interested in these new Green Lanterns and if they can hold my attention. So issue 10, I'm on the fence if I'm going to go past this. A, you got a B. There is a Planet Mogo thing going here, which is kind of interesting, seeing all the different lanterns on Mogo, and they're, hey, look, Larfleeze has his own little island all out by himself. It's kind of fun. And then, all the inner workings of the different lights all there on Mogo. But with that, there actually is a 1 in 25 here, which again is a rarity these days for DC. There's not a lot of titles that still get the incentive treatment, but here you go. There's a 1 in 25 on this one. In addition, the Author Immortal, I didn't really get a chance to read the first issue, so I was interested in the concept, but I didn't get to it. So with issue 2, we'll see. I'm going to pick it up because I don't want to miss out if I do like it. But honestly, like I said, I didn't read the first issue to tell you if I liked it. So I got to get issue 2 now, just in case. It's one of those weird things. I know I'm not the only one who does that. So don't look at me weird that you buy something without reading it yet. And then you're, oh, I got to get issue 2 now because you don't know. I don't know. All right. Maybe I'm on my own. But with that, we do have an A, we got a B, and then there is a C cover. Oh, I shouldn't have put this here because this actually shows up later in the show. But this is a tease for later because, yes, we normally do Marvel variants. We normally do DC variants, but Image is giving us some Youngblood variants that we'll get to later on for all you fans of Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. With that, Death to Pachuco. Similar case as the last book. I didn't get to issue 1 yet. So I got to get issue 2 to know if I'm going to like it or not. I'm stuck, at least through these 2. But I'm going to try to play catch up next week or so. I should have some time to get some reading done. But we got a couple of covers here. You got A's, you got B's, you got a C. So these are the open order ones. And then we got some incentives for you. So we'll take that A and the B, and we'll get them black and white. And those are 1 in 10s. But then all 3 of these get the virgin color treatment for 1 in 25s. I don't know why we need 3 1 in 25s for this title, but we're getting them. Also, here we are on the fence. Amazing Spider-Man Torn. I'm not a big fan of, hey, this story took place back in the day, though we never told you about it. Sort of weird retconning things here by Straczynski. But they got me with issue 1 with the Adam Hughes cover. Issue 2 here, I'm, like I said, on the fence to see if I'm going to keep reading this or not. But here we go. A, we got a B. Delato here, pretty cool on the C cover. I don't know what's this deal with MJ these days. This is another one. It's not my favorite, and she's getting like the Streetwalker treatment, which is like pack of Marlboro Reds last week, and this one is just she's straight up on the corner. I don't know. Are they like just like they're trying to sabotage her character? It's what I feel like. Not great. Not great in my opinion. We could do better. We could do better. With that, 1 in 25. And we do have a 1 in 50, which is that Delato, but a virgin one. It's a bit red. I'll give it that. It's a lot of red. Maybe a little bit too much, but I still like it. Also, admittedly, I'm finally on the fence about this regular Star Wars title. I was going to just stick with just this one instead of, I can't get all the Star Wars titles anymore, but I'm having a hard time even taking the time to sit down to read this. So I might be out. I don't know. I love Star Wars, mind you, but I don't know. But issue 7 could be it. I'm going to have to try to catch up, see if it's any good. I haven't heard good things. And we got other covers here with the Clone Wars, Jedi Knights. You've got Ewok, and then they do these stupid things. We really need to do 40 years of the Ewok Battle for Endor covers? Like, really? Do we got to do this now? How many of these are we going to get? Hopefully just this one. Don't need like 10 covers to celebrate every movie's anniversary. And they're all like lackluster. This is actually kind of cool because it looks like a poster, but you know the ones I'm talking about, like all the Phantom Menace and Rise of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Those were just ugh. Anyway. Also tired of the Powers of the Force action figure covers. Not as cool as the original card backs. This is just not as nostalgic for me. I mean, like, oh boy, I remember this in the 90s. It's not as cool. But they're making them anyway. And again, I know I'm probably being an old curmudgeon, and you people younger than me, this is probably your time for Star Wars that you remember. But for me, this just doesn't hold the same place in my heart. With that all said, let's get back on track and remind you all out there who need supplies, BCW, save 10% off your whole order. Use my code RENA10. 10% off your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, CGC boxes, your top loaders, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You can get a product over at BCW to help you, and you got to buy supplies. You might as well save money while you do it. So use my code RENA10. You help out the channel. You get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose. Now, up next, revamped a little bit of a section for On the Rack. I realized spent a lot of time talking about books that I'm not even going to get, but at the same time, not covering a lot of books. So I try to meet in the middle here. So with that, this is stuff, despite the long pull list and all the other books that we've already gone over, this is some stuff that I'm personally not probably picking up, but I think A lot of us are interested and want to know where these are, and I'm kind of curious still where these titles are, like Action Comics. Only reason I sat this one out is because, again, I don't like going back in time, and going back to tell more Superboy stories just didn't seem necessary for me. So that's why I kind of sat out on Action for this run. But I'm sure people are enjoying it. Multiple covers here, A, B, C, no incentives, and you got a fourth option here for you. So cool. Pick whichever one you like. Another title that was all right, but again, it's not really for me, was Supergirl. And yeah, this cover A is pretty fun. You know, I really dig the cover B here, the Sozomaika. This is probably my favorite cover this week. Open order, but there you go. Like, that's it. I'm going to go through some other titles, but we're not going to cover them all like we normally do. Just kind of more from DC. So here's some other books. You got the King Arthur Court book. You got Batman and Robin, because how many Batman and Robin titles do we have these days? I know the couple of the series are wrapping up. We got the Gotham by Gaslight, League of Justice, Elseworlds title. There's some more stuff coming out this week, but it's not for me. I don't personally read Spawn. I was getting it for a while just to get it. It's just one of those OCD habit types of deals, and I've done that. I've gone in and out on collecting this title. I don't have a full run, near a full run, but I have a hell of a long few chunks of runs. Here we are, already up to 370. Can't believe there's 370 issues of Spawn. We got two covers here, A, and we got a B. I kind of like the B better than the A in this case, but like I said, I'm out right now currently. But Image still has some more titles that, again, I've tapped out on. Blood and Thunder, just lost interest. Never got into Blood Squad 7 personally, or Maria Lovett's Artificial, but those are also coming out this week if you are a fan of those titles. Along with this one shot for Kaya. I gave that series a shot, but I just felt lost. And Power Fantasy, kind of the same thing. It just seemed like too much for me to just kind of catch up on. It was just Kieran Gillen. It was just a lot of, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. It just didn't connect with me. But those are also coming out this week for those who are interested in those titles. Outside of Image, over at Dark Horse, we've got some more random titles here with we got the Adventures of Luminen, which was kind of interesting when I read that first issue. The Star Wars, you got a Witcher book, and again, I've been getting those Witcher books just to get the Witcher books, but I don't know. I still haven't brought myself to watch without Cavill. I just haven't yet tried it. But I'll get there. Dynamite. Dynamite's got a couple other titles too coming out this week. If you're a fan of Blue Falcon and Dynamite, you got a title there. And then whatever this Dynamite Blood Red thing is they've got going, I don't know. It's just not for me. So it's on the shelf. Along with these titles from IDW, also some things I'm not picking up from Event Horizon Dark Descent, which, if you're a fan of that movie from the 90s, space horror, I hear that was an interesting sequel or continuation. And then we got the weird Godzilla books. So many Godzilla books these days. Another Turtle book for some reason. And then we got Star Trek books if you're a Star Trek reader. So you got Lower Decks and you got Strange New Worlds. And that Street Sharks title is still going on for number 2. Again, stuff that's not for me, but this is what else is coming out if you are a collector of those books. Over at Boom, we got Grimm. We've got Wind, which is wrapping up. And we got VR Troopers. VR Troopers, outside of my wheelhouse, came after my time. More of my little brother's thing with the Power Rangers kind of set. But yeah, Grimm feels like it should be way deeper in its run, but I guess they've probably taken some long pauses. I don't know, but there's your stuff from Boom. Mad Cave also has a handful of titles still rolling on. If you're reading Dick Tracy or reading this Gunpowder Profits, which is only on issue 2, and this Red Vector series for your space, spacey type deals. Again, I'm not on board. If any of these things are good and I should be checking them out, please let me know down below. But for now, like I said, I'm keeping you posted that they're coming out, but I ain't reading them, so I can't give you much more beyond that. Just like Distillery. And I mentioned that before. It's the prestige format, higher prices and bigger format. It's just, I can't be throwing $9 down on a whim, but City Beneath Her Feet is continuing on. So there you go. If you want to get your Distillery hit, there's one book coming this week. And Titan is giving us a Conan book and this weird Madballs Craniac thing. Couldn't be two polar opposite titles coming out of Titan, but there you go. And then I think finally out of Ignition, we're getting, and yeah, that's right, this new Ignition press. That's what I got to remember. That's what this little weird key logo is. It's a newer publisher. They're coming out with some interesting stuff, but Roots of Madness coming out this week. Again, it's not in my reading list, but let me know if it's any good and I can give it a shot. But I just wanted to keep you all posted on it coming out, along with some titles from Marvel that I'm not getting, like the final issue of Eddie Brock Carnage. Here's your cover A, which not really in love with this one. Cover B is pretty solid with this fight with Muse. Kind of dig this, but like I said, I'm not reading this title. If you are, let me know how it finished up. It's just, yeah, I don't know. The symbiote stuff is just beyond me at this point. Fantastic Four is another title I'm not currently getting. But issue 5, apparently Black Hat stopping by. We've got a cool Jenny Frison cover here. I'm a fan of that. We also have the connecting cover by Scotty Young. Yep, that's right. We've been following these from the start. So let's see where we're at now. I think this is the final one. So you got Johnny Storm, you got Herbie, you got Reed, you got Sue, and you got Ben over there. Where is he? There he is. So we're rolling through them all. There's our FF. There's 5 of them, 5 covers. But more than that, you got the stupid what if Disney thing still going too. I don't know why we need this, but cool, I guess. I don't know. 1 in 25. So there is a 1 in 25 option here. Classic, almost Kirby-esque, done by, I think it's done by Michael Cho. And then we've got that Frison cover in a Virgin format for our 1 in 50. Again, I like this. It's a nice image. I know everybody says it all looks the same, but I like her style. Just like I like J. Scott Campbell. Yes, stuff does look kind of similar, but I like it. So what do you want from me? I'll tell you what I'm not going to buy. This is black and white 1 in 100. I still can't believe they're making these. I don't know who's buying these, but they're still making them. And Venom. Again, speaking of symbiotes, I don't know. The MJ reveal just wasn't for me. So issue 251 of Venom coming out. Cool. Doc Ock is back. All right, I guess. Multiple covers here. Not bad. This Puppeteer Lee's not bad for a Venom cover. We've got MJ apparently on the red carpet, but with a symbiote dress. It's kind of a fun idea. 1 in 25. Pretty standard. Not bad, obviously, but, you know, not groundbreaking. And then we got that Puppeteer Lee in a Virgin form for our 1 in 100. And then I think the last spotlight here I'm going to do is for Spider-Man Noir. This is a cool anime look to it. I kind of like this cover. But Spider-Man Noir is not a title I normally read, but I feel like I should. It feels like something I should like, but I just don't. But I don't really give it much of a shot. I don't know. I feel like I should give it a shot. Let me know if I should give it a shot, if anybody out there is reading it. But you got an A. I don't know what's with the welt on my man's head there, but that thing looks nasty. Like it needs to be popped. Like a huge-ass goiter on his forehead. And then pretty awesome Rod Reyes. I'm just all tongue-tied today. I really like this cover, though, on the C cover. So if I were to pick it up, I'd get this one. And then there's a 1 in 25, which ain't bad. And then from there, Marvel has a few other still titles coming out, but again, not on my my pull list at all. So Black, White, Blood and Guts, if you're into that thing. New Avengers, which I gave it a shot because I met the artist, Tiago Palma. Gave it a shot. Art's great. I'm just not connecting with the characters. So Spider-Girl is the same thing. Like Nakayama, big fan of Nakayama doing these covers, but I just have no connection to this character, Spider-Girl. Spider-Man 94 was interesting to start, but I'm already out after 3 issues. I don't know. I just can't keep up with everything. Just like the Spider-Man Wolverine series, I'm just not a fan of the forced team-up books. Just too much Wolverine, Deadpool, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and whoever. Strange Tales doing their thing. I'm sure it's probably pretty good, but again, I got to draw the line somewhere, and it's partly where the Ultimate Universe is, which is why I'm not getting Ultimate Black Panther 22, and in the Star Wars universe, which is why I really don't care for the Han Solo book, because I don't know. Just not into it. Just not into it. But maybe I'll be into some of this new stuff. So we got some new number ones coming out this week. So here's some new stuff to give it a try. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll capture our imaginations and be the next great hit series. Or maybe not. Batman Static Beyond, or Batman Beyond and Static. Okay, so futuristic static, and Batman Beyond. Eh, I'm not really big on either character, so I don't have a lot of connectivity to this. So I'm just probably gonna leave this one behind personally. But this cover is pretty cool. I will say this. Uh, this one's not bad either. This Dennis Cohen, and then well, there's a lot of good covers here actually. And then we got a foil version. If you want a shiny foil, you can get one in foil. So go ahead and grab that. But other than that, there's your Batman Beyond and Static. We're also getting a Poison Ivy one shot, which I didn't know where to put this. I almost put this in Cheesecake, but again, there's only two covers and neither feel actually very cheesecakey here. I mean, this is a very classic fairy tales kind of vibe. This is almost like a Fables cover, which is not a criticism. I dig it. It's just not cheesecake, so I couldn't put it there. And then we got a B cover, which also again has that same kind of vibe, and I really like it. But it has more of a Fables kind of feel. So either cover, I think, is solid on that annual. If you're reading Poison Ivy, it's just that's not a title I'm reading. And again, I keep asking if it's any good because it's like 36 issues deep, but I don't know. Nobody's ever answered, so I don't know who's reading it. I guess we're all just buying it for covers. Hellboy. It seems like every week or every month there's a new Hellboy book. It's just like they're only one shots or two issues or whatever, but we're always starting new. And the Ghost Ships of Labrador are it's coming out now. One of these days, I mean, I've got the entire library of the Hellboy books. One of these days, I'm gonna have nothing else to do. Maybe when I retire, and I can sit down and read all of them because this is stuff I know I will like. I just never got the time to sit down and read it. And at this point, it's like where to begin, you know, especially with the BRPD stuff too. Like I know I'm gonna like it. I liked all the movies. Like they're not all perfect, but I liked all the movies, and this is the concept and everything. It's up my alley. I just don't know when to start. But you got two covers, A and a B. Pick whichever one you like. Again, the crossover that I didn't know we were even doing has the opposite version. So now Dynamite is publishing their Gargoyles Fantastic Four combo. Cool, I guess. Covers the Pirello cover here is not bad. And then we got others. You got a B and C's, and it's blank sketch if you want a sketch cover, and another option here. I mean, get it if you like it. No, there's more. Yep, we're even more. Cool. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt. Dynamite's just pulling out all the stops for these oddball characters, bringing back the Phantom and whatnot. But I don't think we need all these covers. But here we go anyway. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, that's a Ross. It's old Ross, though. Reused Ross art, I believe. I'm just saying. This seems like a title you should just do two covers on. You do an A, you do a B, be done with it. Same thing with Panthro. I don't know. Again, I'm glad I didn't get caught up in reading Thundercats because they seem to be milking everything with all these one shots of these side characters. How many different titles are there for Thundercats? But here we go. Panthro's getting one too. I think it's just a one shot, but who knows at this point? A and a B and a C and a sketch, and I think one more, which ain't bad, but again, can't do it. Just like I can't do all these Godzilla titles. Godzilla's facing everybody. He's facing everybody in Marvel. He's facing the city of Kansas City, Chicago, New York, the Turtles, Power Rangers. Godzilla's fighting everyone, apparently. And it's just way too much. And I love Godzilla, but this is too much. This is a really nice cover, though. It's a good shot of Godzilla. And the Turtles aren't bad. I just don't have any interest in reading this. That's all. Then we got a Godzilla turtle. Okay, that's great. Sketch cover again. Bigfoot, cool. Cartoony, Saturday morning cartoon look. Also interesting. But again, nah, not for me. Just can't do it. We're also getting the 1776 book out of Marvel, which I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. I know 250 years of our country. It's coming up next year, so that is a milestone. But I don't think we need a comic to commemorate it. But we're getting one a little early too. Casada giving us a cover here. There we go. Steve Rogers giving us the old patriotic look there. And we got George here with Spidey, even though I wasn't sure if that was George Washington or if it was Judd Hirsch from Taxi because that's all I see. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. It's Judd Hirsch or George Washington. Maybe he should play George Washington. Or maybe he did and I missed it, like a TV movie. I don't know. Then we've got this wraparound cover, which I couldn't find by Steve Rude. I couldn't find a match for match. So this is going to be a weird look, but this is the best I can make it fit with the images I found. So yeah, you just figure there's more yellow and orange on the border there. And then we do have a David Nakayama foil, which is pretty sweet. A Bagley, 1 in 25. Not bad. And then we'll go back to that other 1776 book, and there's our 1 in 100. We take the trade dress off of it. Cool. Predator Badlands. Did not get to see it last weekend because I had to do that show and had no time because I was prepping and all that stuff and trying to get content done. But Badlands, I do want to see this movie. I know it's got mixed reviews out of some folks, but my son wants to see it. I'm going to try to find time to see it when I can. But with that, they're doing a prequel comic, issue 1. There you go. 3 covers. 1, 2. I kind of like the B. And then we got a movie poster cover as well. Actually, they're all pretty good. I figure I want to see the movie first, and then I might go back and find this book. Keen Spot giving us the Execution Posse holdings. Basically, the Cadillac stuff, all of those different side books, and I got a few of them, though, honestly, I never sat down to read them all. I read a little bit, and it was kind of weird, kind of interesting. Yes, the Lost Boys comparisons and the Warriors, and it is kind of that goofy sort of 80s kind of a little bit of cheese vibe to it, and not in a bad way, but that's what we kind of got there. I don't know, but we've got a few covers here on this Origins book. I think it's like $10 too. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get one if you like it. And then we got the Liquidator out of Mad Cave, if you're interested in this. So 1891. Okay, cool. 2 covers, A and a B. Timey-wimey, travel-y type of deal. Interesting. And then I mentioned it earlier, we are getting a new Youngblood, issue 1. Creator Liefeld returns. I don't know what to say about this book because I don't really want it, but at the same time, I can't look away. So I'm picking one up because I just have to see it for myself. I don't know, maybe I'm glutton for punishment. I don't know. I don't want this. I was never really a fan of this title or any of it, but I feel like I gotta check it out anyway. I feel it's my duty. It's my responsibility. But we'll see. A lot of covers. Way too many covers. Treating it like it's a huge event, which I guess it is for part of the market. I don't know. Here we go, A's and B's, and it's got a Scotty Young here too, and a sketch. Cool. We got other ones here. I think it was Stegman, Daniel Warren Johnson. That's a pretty cool one. I like that cover. Here's another one. Yeah, I don't know. A bloody cover, manga edition. Is it going to be backwards? I don't know. Maybe. It's a 1 in 25. We got a 1 in 50. That's right. It's going up from here. We've got a Mark Spears 1 in 100. Yeah. 1 in 500 virgin version of this. Yeah, I don't know. And then there's a 1 in 2000 sketch. And I couldn't find an example like I did of the Spawn ones, but I don't think it's going to be as good as the Todd ones. The ones that are selling for like $7,000. Because other sketches I went out and looked at, examples online, they all look more like this. And I don't think people are going to pay $7,000 for this. Just gut feeling. But we'll see. We'll see. And with that, this also leads into our secret drop of the week, which is why I'm shocked that there must be a market for this Youngblood coming out, because we do have it being an image book, and I guess a cornerstone type of a book. They are doing a 1 per store thank you edition. That's this one right here. Classic image, reused art, obviously, from back in the day. But this this thank you edition is already pre-selling for $100, $75, yada, yada, yada. Granted, prices are trending down as this is going on. If you look at those sales, they started on the 8th and the 9th, it was around $100, and then as we got into the 10th and into the 11th, it started hitting like 75. So it is trending more down than up, but that's still a lot of money for a one per store. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on as the week goes on. And if you can get a hold of one, might be worth your time and effort. If you want to keep it or flip it, whatever you want to do, that's up to you. You might do well if you can get it for a decent price or whatever from your shop owner. So just keep that in mind. With that said, let's get on over to Facsimiles. We only got a couple, not a lot more coming the rest of the way. So we're going to be going in the home stretch here for this show, which maybe I didn't speed it up as much as I wanted to, but it's still probably coming under an hour. Facsimile wise, we've got Justice League of America number 21. We got a regular edition, and then for $2 more, it's $3.99, or actually $3 more. And then for $6.99, you get a foil edition. The foil is getting expensive, huh? It used to be $1 more or $2 more. Now it's $3 more. I don't even know what Marvel's charging them these days, but Fantastic Four number 11's coming out. Impossible Man. This facsimile, along with a foil version of it, as well as a 1 in 25 incentive. I remember learning about the Impossible Man on that Silver Surfer run. That was my first, I don't think it was like issue 32 or 33 from that 80s run. That was my first run-in with the Impossible Man. It was an interesting little character. I mean, yeah, here's what it is. But with that, still doing these black and white things. Wolverine Revenge, I think, is wrapping up. I think it's issue 5. I think that was the end of it, right? Hopefully, but there's a black and white edition if you want it. And then we got some later prints to get to. New Absolute Batman. That's right. More Absolute Batman giving you later printings. No, not new editions of issue 1 or anything like that, but we do have a second print for issue 12, which just came out last month, I think. So, yeah, there you go. Killer Croc. This High Strangeness out of Oni is getting a second print. The Medieval Spawn cover on Rogue Sun, issue 30, getting a second print. And then Kirkman and Morris kicking us off with Transformers 25 is getting not 1 second print, not 2. Autobot Decepticon makes sense, right? Not 3, even though we got a second Autobot cover here. Should have probably been 3, but here's a 4. You got to have the mask. You got to have the mask, dude. So Miles, he's showing up here. That's kind of fun. If I were to buy any of these, I'd probably get the Miles one because it's mask. And yeah, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of interesting. But with that, let's move on to this, which I didn't know where to put this because this is sort of a later print because it's a collected edition of 4 of the miniseries from that original Tales from Age of Apocalypse from back in the day. So you're getting Astonishing X-Men 1, Factor X, Weapon X, and Amazing X-Men 1. $10, 100-pager. That's what you're getting. So it's technically 4 reprints. So I put it here in the later printings. But it's got its own new cover, and it's called Tales from from Apocalypse. This cover or that cover. Pick whichever one you like. Now, as we get into the variant segments, I'm going to start us off with the Youngbloods because I mentioned Image is giving us these Youngblood team-up covers. So let's take a look at them. Because you know what? I kind of missed this last week, so I'm playing catch-up. And with that, here we go with last week's. Remember this one? Crisis Events? I know I talked about it, but this was last week. It was a wraparound. I'm not showing you the whole wraparound thing again. But yes, there was this version and the black and white version. This is the Youngblood team-up. But there was also a Walking Dead. The Walking Dead color reprints. So they did one of these too. This is actually pretty cool, David Finch. So you got Chapel there with Negan. It's a pretty cool look. They also did a black and white version of this one. Not all of them have black and white versions, but some of them do. Don't know why. Don't know the rhyme or reason. Just reporting what's out there. And I'll show you the full list of what's to come once we get to the end of what came out this week. So here we go. I teased this one earlier. The Author Immortal number 2. There's the Youngblood team-up covered there. We've got Blood and Thunder here. She looks kind of like Larry from Three Stooges. And that is almost like a 1-for-1 from the original After Liefeld. I mean, it's right there. So you got that one. Die Loaded is even giving us one. So here you go. We got that. Maria Lovett's Artificial is getting in on the action. We've got an X-Men homage here for the Power Fantasy. We've got Redcoat giving us a wraparound. So Youngblood returns variant cover. So there you go. We got a whole wraparound with Redcoat and the Youngblood crew. We got another little homage there to the original cover, but this is on that Kaya book. And then we almost have a scene done by Brett Booth on the Spawn issue. It's like, okay, I don't know why we actually get a scene, like almost like a Scotty Young, but that's what you get here. And this one randomly gets a black and white version. Again, I don't know why some of them got a black and white version, but this one did. So with that, we're 2 weeks into this, and this is actually going to take us through November and even in through December, I think. December 17th is going to wrap up. So that's a lot. There's a lot of covers here to come. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep them covered, and I'll keep them in this segment, just like I do with the other sets of variants, like the Streetverse by In-Hyuk Lee. More of these coming our way this week. I already showed these ones. If you watched last week's short, I already included these ones because I needed to round it out to make it a nice little show. But Carnage, yep, and a 1 in 50 because, yep, there's 1 in 50s for all of these. Then we got Fantastic Four with Sue Storm there, rocking her little scarf and her sweats under the trench coat. So I guess she's coming back from the gym. I don't know, in the fall. 1 in 50. Stupid ass border on Iron and Frost. Again, it's almost ruining this, but there you go. They need to give that side border on this thing. And there is a 1 in 50 that doesn't have it. So we'll get rid of that. Cool. Storm coming our way with Rogue Storm. There's no border on this one. Or is there? I don't know. I'm not getting this one in person. But this one's also got a 1 in 50 if you want to go that route. And I think finally, going back to symbiotes, we've got Venom 251. Also rocking a big coat. Big coat. Big coat, like George Costanza. 1 in 50 option here as well. I don't know. Something about seeing Venom in white sneakers is kind of weird. Yeah. But with that, we're 2 weeks through on this one. We've got 2 more weeks of books ahead. So I'll wrap those one up with another short probably at the end of the month. But with that, let's get on to the Cheesecake covers. Not a lot here, but we do have a few. So we'll get through them and get through them pretty quick because I think this is the last segment before the end because I don't have any regular covers to talk about, but we have a J. Scott Campbell-esque Critter, number 9. So Antarctic giving us this Critter book, whatever it is, definitely fits the category though. And then there's a B cover option here as well with this Ghost Critter, I guess. I don't know. The second best superhero comic book in the universe, if they say so. Dynamite giving us Vampirilla Armageddon number 5. I think this is the Matina, right? Then we've got Illyrix Lee. Not bad. Linsner. Can't go wrong there with a Linsner. And then there's a cosplay cover as they always do. So there you go with your Vampirilla Armageddons. And then we got Witchblade coming at you. So Witchblade looking like X-23 in that picture for some reason, or X-23 is Sabretooth. I think it's the color scheme. I think they're changing up Witchblade, I guess, at this point with the 30th anniversary. Can you believe 30 years Witchblade has been around? I'm getting old. But this is our cover A. This Sozomaika, pretty nice. Kind of fits. It looks almost like a magazine cover. And also with the little echoing of the image, kind of cool. Then we got this option here with the different looks of the Witchblade, I guess, throughout our time over this 30-year time period. That also has a 1 in 10 virgin version. So if you want that, you can get that. And then for a 1 in 25, we'll take that Sozo and make that our 1 in 25 incentive. I could see some interest in these on the aftermarket this week. We'll see. But with that, they're not the best of the week, but these two are. And for me, it wasn't a great week for covers. I'll be honest. It wasn't a lot of options for me to pick through. Unlike a couple of weeks ago when I had to do two videos, 2 shorts, I should say. This week, Hammond and Hawn, like I said, I didn't love a lot of the incentives this week, but this one stood out. And again, I don't know why I like this Chris Bacalo so much, but I do. So I made this one my favorite. I know it's not going to be everybody's favorite. They're going to be, oh, it's pretty standard. It's Batman fighting. I don't know. I like it. And it's a 1 in 50. I'm not going to buy it because it's a 1 in 50, but I do like it. And then for, again, my regular cover, I like this Sozo on the Supergirl Just a cool image. You're coming through. Seriously, like it's like feel like you're in the midst of a story here. I dig it. I like the image. It's cool. Sets a mood. I like it. So that's my favorite regular cover of the week. Let me know what your favorites are in the comments down below. And that is it. I did finish it under an hour, so I was successful in that way, I guess. But thank you for all the support and hanging out and checking this out. I'm sorry again that it was late. I wanted to get this out yesterday, but with the Eagles game and Monday Night Raw and everything, and just running short on time. Running short on time. But I will be back. I'll be back on track soon. I know I keep saying that week after week, but I will. I will. And thanks for hanging in there, though, while I try to get myself back on schedule. And I'll see you all later with some more content. All right? All right. Bye.